expecting kind of Lilbow's macro power, and Vita and Dusk out there straight away. It might be something he does against all Pros players, just doesn't like the way the map plays, doesn't play into his own playstyle once again. So, yeah, we're going to have to do it, but left-hand side is going to be our red Protoss player from Millennium. Let's see it, guys, if you're cheering on Lilbow. Into the bottom left. Our blue Zerg player from Dead Pixels is going to be Namshar. Drugs and alcohol as the donation goal. Yeah, I'm really sure that'll motivate a lot of people to come and to like come and donate, right? Oh yeah, I really feel like supporting this guy having a good night out or something. You are regular as well, you Phil. Indeed, you are. Angles here. See, we got all loads of regulars in here. God damn it, though, 3-minute delay. God damn it. All right. Let's we've introduced the players. I mean, let's talk a little bit about Arena as we just see a hatchery first. Obviously, the main thing you've got to talk about when we go into Arena is this left-hand pathway. It allows so much different kind of, different build orders to usual because attacks hit so quickly. It allows for really aggressive pushes in the early game, but it gets to this point where you get to a stage. You reach a stage, and at this stage, you can't attack up this left-hand pathway anymore. You can maybe kind of attack up the left side or something like that. Yeah, you can maybe like attack up you can like counter attack up here, but your main army can't go up in this direction at all. So yeah, just it's one of these things where it's very aggressive early on, but later in the game it actually becomes a very kind of macro focused map because it's very difficult to attack when the only pathway you could realistically use is this one in the center. I mean, you move this far to the right to come along the right-hand side, and your opponent just counterattacks through the middle and kills a base. You move through the left-hand side, you're choked off. So you can only really attack through the center. I mean, run-bys and so on around the right and through the left is definitely viable, but that's kind of the only real aggression you'll probably see along those attack paths past like the 6, 7, 8, past the 10-minute mark at least. So yeah, just kind of, it's a very weird map, but it's very interesting in the way it can play out as well. So just going to be seeing the Nexus finishing up. I'm just going to be seeing another gate coming down the low ground. So far, Lilbow just putting his Chrono Boost in towards a warp gate, also kind of sentry out. I wonder if he goes into a couple more gates and maybe he kind of aggressively pushes forward with kind of a group of gateway units, tries to attack down this left-hand pathway. He's got the force field to keep himself safe if he needs to retreat, and he can just put a little bit of pressure, kind of force some units out of his opponent, get a little bit of damage done perhaps if his opponent doesn't have units up. It's definitely something that can work out here on Arena. As we'll see for Namshar, well, we've not really seen anything crazy from him at all. He's into 3 hatcheries, he's just dealing with an Adept right now, which isn't getting any kills. Good control by Namshar to limit the damage done. Not a single drone lost, just lost mining time. But yeah, I mean, third hatch coming down. Link speed is about to finish up as well, so pretty much everything just going pretty standard here, I would say. 2 more gates still building, so actually with 4 gateways, it definitely looks as though Lilbow is going to commit a lot to kind of a gateway push down the left side of the map here in the very near future. As you're going to see another pylon coming in. So another pylon coming in, and we're just going to be seeing a few lingers with speed now coming across, but good wall off here by Lilbow. I mean, it's not a pretty wall off, but it does the job, so it keeps them lingers out, and them lingers just going to be pulling away. Again, game number 1 of this best of 3, so there's a little bit room for error, but both these guys I'm pretty sure want to go to HomeStory Cup. I actually remember one of the first tournaments Namshar, like one of the first major tournaments Namshar qualified for was probably HomeStory Cup I think it was last summer, the one he qualified for. So not the last one in December, but the one last July. I think he qualified for that, and everyone was like, whoa, Namshar. And it was really awesome for him, as we're going to see a couple more Adepts just being warped in, and they're going to be attacking on down through the left-hand side of the map. So they're just going to be attacking down through here. Zerglin goes down on the watchtower. And again, I mean, this is what we've been talking about, this potential attack from Lilbow, where he's got force fields to kind of back away with. And just, already he's forcing 20 Zerglins to be made. He's attacking right on up into this mineral line. You're going to see Guardian Shield is going to be popped to help against the Queens. Nice targeting on the sentry, which had the Guardian Shield up. Limits the number of force fields that he has to pop with the Guardian Shield, but that being said, these Adepts actually staying alive for quite some time. The force fields are very well placed to kind of really limit the surface area. All the sentries go down, but, I mean, you look at the damage he's done. He's killed 5 drones. He's killed off a lot of lings as well. And Namshar is down on 37 workers against the 46, so yes, it was an expensive loss from Lilbow, but Namshar ends up behind in workers and can't really make more units without droning a little bit first, so this is just going to be kind of continuing on. As you can see, these Lings coming in, these Adepts just going to fight against them Lings as well. So Lings just going to continue to look to see what they can get up to. Whenever single Zerglin goes down, Adepts actually shade backwards. One of the things that Lilbow hasn't got yet is the third base. The third base is going to come in very late. He's going to rely on actually a more harassment-based playstyle, as he now has double Stargate, and so we're all of a sudden going to see Namshar having to deal with a lot of Phoenix harassment, and behind this, Lilbow should be looking to take a third base, but again, I mean, actually, there's so many Adepts as well, that these Phoenix, I mean, obviously the game plan is more or less to say, basically, I'm going to attack with these Adepts, I'm going to attack with my Phoenix, lift up a few of these Queens, and I'll just see what I can get up to. As the Lings come in, they surround, the Adepts are going to vanish away in towards the ramp. I'm just going to sit on that ramp right now as we got another couple of Phoenix coming in, joining up, and we're just going to see the Adepts just shading around again, and well, we see Roaches starting to come in. I mean, that's what the Phoenix are very good at, kind of lifting up Roaches, taking them out of the equation. I love this. Commits into the main base, doesn't actually shade away in the end, so commits into this, and we're going to see, well, these Adepts now, they do shade away as the army commits forwards. Phoenix still hanging around over to the left-hand side. They can't do a lot when there's so many Queens nearby. They're actually going to commit once again, going to keep on fighting here. Still can't quite come in with the Phoenix, there's just too many Queens. As these Adepts really, finally they're going to start going down. We actually see Zealots at the same time into the third base, so Lilbow just harassing all over the places. Well, Phoenix going to come in, they're going to pick up a Queen, and now the Queens are starting to fall. I mean, a couple of Phoenix have gone down as well. Only one actually so far. I thought there was one more also. You're going to see him just lift up both these remaining Queens just to make sure he doesn't lose his Phoenix. And oh, he's in range of a Spore Call. If this one that's lifting right now, you have to pull back and then he'll re-lift here. So, oh, he actually loses it. This is, well, it turned out to be very messy from Lilbow. I mean, he kills off multiple Queens, he loses a couple of Phoenix. Definitely not kind of as effective or as efficient as he would have liked it to be. Namshar comes out of this 11 workers ahead. Lilbow still without a third Nexus back at home. He's going to start moving into position to take that right now. So the probe coming over here, going to drop that third base down. And there we go, third Nexus coming in. And of course Namshar sees this, so he gets a very good idea of the timing here as to when his opponent's taking that third base. And obviously, he knows that third base is fairly late, so he knows to be a little bit more careful, not overdrone, not take a fourth base too early. But for the most part, I'd say Namshar's still in a very good position. Has to be very careful with Queens and so on. Doesn't want to run them out of range of Spore Crawlers, for example, and risk himself taking too much damage. But man, I mean, you can even be in a Spore Crawler and these Phoenix just do so much damage. With the +1 upgrade, it all adds up as the only thing that's really going to stop these Phoenix is the lack of energy on them. There's only a couple of Phoenix with actually lifts left on. There's GC's attack across the map, and what does Lilbow have? He has a lot of Zealots, but that's about it. I don't think he's got Twilight Council for charge, right? No, he doesn't have charge. These Zealots aren't going to do a lot. But these Roaches kind of just decide not to continue attacking. They've lost so many of them to the Phoenix that Namshar's going to pull back more lane, more Roach on the way. I'm just going to be seeing these Queens just continue to fight here, but I mean, look how much damage the Phoenix do. Queen gets lifted, it goes down like seconds later. It just, everything just dies so quickly. As we are going to see, though, Namshar taking the fight here in the center. He's going to find himself a few of these Zealots. There come the Phoenix back in once again, though. Roaches once more being lifted up and taken down. What Namshar really needs is a transition. He needs to try and go into, like, Hydras or something that can fight against these, these Phoenix in kind of decent numbers. I mean, Hydras, aren't very good straight away, but once you get 10, 12 of them, then Phoenix will start to drop very quickly. That's not remember for Lings at least. He's going to click up at least 10 worker kills, so 10 worker kills is not bad. It's definitely something he can work with. A couple of Roaches going to get dealt with as well in the end, but Namshar, here's the problem. He's losing so much as he attacks across the map here. A couple of Robos down for Lilbow as well as he begins to transition into the next stage of the game for himself. I'm just going to be seeing these things still just overhead, just waiting to see what they can help out with. I mean, currently, they have a few lifts on them. Again, there's not a lot of lifts, and that's kind of the real limiting factor right now. Is we are going to see that one Robo that was building an Immortal is starting to go down. This is actually starting to be a little bit interesting. I mean, if you can kill a Robo, stop Immortals coming up, that'd be very, very nice. He's not going to get it, though. Only one Roach left, and dealt with as well. But, hey, Namshar does quite a lot with that. He's got a lot of money in the bank, though. That's why his supply is so low. He's got so much money in the bank that he's not spending. I think because the Lairs coming up, he's saving it. Because he's probably about to drop down that Hydra and start making the switch into Hydras. But, I mean, look how much damage he's going to take once again. 2 Queens go down instantly. The Overlord's going down. I mean, he's got enough Phoenix where they don't have a lot of energy, but he can just lift up so many drones. He's just going to stand above this Spore Crawler and, well, goodbye Overlords, goodbye supply. Namshar, but he's just talking about how much money he has. Well, now he's going to have to spend all of that money on Overlords, and that's not ideal at all. As Namshar just drops so heavily in supply. I think this right here actually just going to be game. Heavy harassment playstyle from Lilbow is enough, it seems, to kind of bring this for him, to take this for him. Game number 1 of this best of 3. I'm going to see the Phoenix just continue to move around. Continue to look to see what they can get up to. And these Phoenix just moving over to the right hand side, thinking about coming in towards the third base here once again. And again, just another couple of drones just coming in, and well, Queens as well, just seeing what they can get up to, pushing those Phoenix back, pushing them away. So you see a lift, and Queen goes down. And at this point, Namshar really is in a lot of trouble. Even now he spent his money, you can just see the supply gap is huge, 50 supply difference. I mean, that was the kind of power of killing off all them overlords. Having to rebuild multiple overlords like that. I mean, he was down on like, he had supply blocks on 63 to now have 180 out of 162. That's a good 1,200 minerals he's invested into overlords at least. As we're going to see this, I mean, the Hydra count is rising for Namshar, but that's pretty much the only thing that's going well for him currently. Lilbow just a few more pounds on the way to get him supply blocked. He's got them robos powered once again, so there's a mortal count starting to get there. Again, his composition is starting to look better and better here as the game continues. You know, he is transitioning, and he is transitioning well. I'm just going to see them Phoenix moving over to the left-hand side, thinking of coming in towards the main. Again, I mean, may as well fly around wherever you can, and, you know, if you get a Hydra or two, well, great trade, right? I mean, when your opponent's already struggling to get enough anti-air up, you know, you pick off a little bit of it, and you can have a good time. I mean, okay, he loses another Phoenix or so, but it's, you know, again, time goes by, the Phoenix become a little bit less valuable. You've already gotten a good return of investment. I mean, dare we look at the resources lost? It's a bit disgusting. 7,325 resources lost for Lilbow, 12,000 for Namshar. I mean, that's just a huge difference. And of course, Lilbow, he had a slated third base. He was behind on workers for a while. But that doesn't make up the 5,000 resource loss difference here between the two players. Phoenix is going to come down the bottom side of the map. These Hydras and Queens just going to join up together towards the edge of the creep spread here. So Hydras and Queens just joining up together and thinking about maybe moving in towards the third base. We're going to see Immortals just joining up as well. Phoenix just again coming in, picking up a couple of Queens. Get a little bit more done. Hydras take down one of the Phoenix there. And just pulling away once more. And again, I mean, you dive in, you pick up a Queen, you pick up a Hydra. It's just, again, it's just keeping Namshar pinned back as well more than anything. Keeping, you know, just keeping his opponent kind of on his own side of the map until Lilbow is ready to take the fight. Until Lilbow is ready to say, well, now we're fighting. Don't know how prepared you are, but you better be prepared, because if you're not, you're just going to die. And nice force heals to begin with. The time warp as well, a nice little touch. And as the Spore Crawler goes down, he can probably come with the Phoenix and just lift up half these Phoenix that are left over. As they try to retreat away, that's definitely one of the things these Phoenix can try and do. Nice bungle. Actually grabs them Phoenix. But the Infest is just something which comes in way too late here. And he's just so far behind that there isn't enough support for them Infestors to realistically, you know, there's not enough for them Infestors to actually help out with. You know, these Infestors are so simple in this matchup. So, see how this goes, and we'll set the scoreboard. It is leading 1-0 right now to the bottom right side of the map. Our red Protoss player, it is Lilbow. And to the upper left is going to be our blue Zerg from Dead Pixels. It's Namshar. So, game number 2 of this best of 3, and I mean, I honestly feel as though Namshar kind of dealt with the first attack very well. I mean, he was a little bit behind on workers, but that's sort of what that attack's meant to do. I mean, it slows down your attack to get damage done, but then he just sort of fell apart to the Phoenix play. I even feel as though the Adepts in the main, I didn't understand why the Adepts weren't dying. It feels as though the Adepts should have died like 5-10 minutes ago, and yet here they are just continuing to cancel their shades, and they're just still in the main base attacking. And so Namshar got just a little bit behind, and, well, the double Phoenix Stargate sort of thing is like one of these things which it snowballs. It snowballs hard. You know, it really does, because it's one of those builds where you're a little bit behind. It's going to keep doing damage. It's going to keep you in a very tough position. So, so yeah, it's it's interesting to see kind of how people play against it, and just a small little advantage for Lilbow was all he needed to realistically kind of close things out in the end as well. So yeah, we kind of we've talked a little bit here about bits and pieces and sort of what is going on Frozen Temple. We talked a bit about it in the last matchup. Yeah, we talked a little bit about it in the last matchup. In the TVs, it's very similar here, to be honest. It's very similar here indeed. So yeah, it's just counter-attack heavy, right? I think it's very Zerg favored in that regard. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how Lilbow plays it out in general in the next few minutes of the game. You have a probe just moving on down into towards the lower right-hand side of the map and just coming back home after scouting the early build order here from Namshar. I took about 3 minutes. I took like a minute and a half there to basically just say that Frozen Temple has the same effects on the matchup as it does on in PvZ. So apologies, I got a little bit caught up in my own head there. I'm going to see that Cybercore finishing here is actually a very early Nexus here from Lilbow. So 2 gates finishing at the same time off of this Nexus first allows him to just go into multiple Adepts early and just begin that harassment. And again, if we see more and more Adepts coming out, I'm pretty convinced we'll see a Twilight Council and a Resonating Glaives. It's just it's just what people love to play on this map. I mean, again, short rush distance, they hit very early, a little bit earlier than usual. And just able to jump between the bases, slow Zerg player down a little bit. There's that Twilight Council going down. Let's see if it is going to be the kind of Resonating Glaives that comes out here, if he's going to make a big change up. I think with 4 Adepts going to be on the map so early, it'd be very weird to see it actually not be 4 kind of Resonating Glaives and suddenly like blink or something. Once you take that Resonating Glaives, again, there's multiple ways you can do it. You can take the third base nice and quickly, and then you can just start taking into your Robos and so on and into Immortals, or alternatively, you can drop the Dark Shrine as well and go for, you know, wave 1 Adepts, boom, do some damage, wave 2 GTs. All of a sudden, the Zerg is all around all of his different bases, looking to see what he can get up to, looking to see where he can go. There's then a couple of gates just on the way up here from Lilbow, and I'm just going to see them few Zerglings from Namshar just sat just outside of the natural expansion. So Resonating Glaive starts 2 more gateways. They're going to be very aggressive with these Adepts here. As, ooh, nice little catch, actually going to get that Adept here. So Lilbow kind of just a little bit too far forward, doesn't quite get that Adept back in time. And small little victory for Namshar, who's just continued to drone back at home, adding on workers, a couple of Overlords coming down, a Queen just over halfway done as well. Let's see how this goes. I mean, this Overlord is going to give him a very good idea of what's happening. He's going to see the 2 extra gateways, he's going to see that Twilight Council, and he's also going to see the double Stargate follow-up, so we're going to see that kind of Adept Phoenix style once again, kind of like what I said at the start, is going to be kind of Adept Phoenix, just a little bit different, because there's actually going to be the Resonating Glaives on the Adepts here, so see how this plays out as these Adepts are going to start shading through the middle of the map, moving up towards the upper left-hand side. Look to get a little bit of damage done here early on in the game. And see what they can achieve. So, just moving forward, Resonating Glaives is done in about 15 seconds, so if the Adepts find a location to attack, they'll be, you know, they're ready to attack, they're ready to go for this. Lilbow also adding on his +1 air weapon, so once again looking for the Phoenix to really be able to pick off whatever they try and fight against really quickly. It's kind of crazy how much of a difference that +1 air weapons makes. You don't really think it'd make that much of a difference, but when you see Overlords going down to +1 Phoenix compared to just normal Phoenix, it's like, wow, that's crazy. These Queens caught a little bit off guard. One of them is going to go down very quickly. No transfuse there from Namshar. He does have the energy for it, so that'll be interesting. A Queen out of range of transfuse there now as well. Drone's going to start going down. This third base taking heavy damage. 11 workers killed. And the Queens as well. Now these Adepts are going to shade away into the main even. And just picked another couple of Lings. Of course, the further away they go, the more time they have for their shades to come off cooldown, for them to begin shading elsewhere once again. As I mean, the Lings just keep dying. Namshar doesn't have enough here. He's going to cancel this shade because he knows there's nothing left over in this main. All of a sudden, Namshar's lost 18 workers. These Adepts are going to try and shade forwards once more, take down a few more drones. And as we're going to see the Adepts just continue to clean out. Sport Crawler falls. I mean, everything's just starting to look to be going a little bit his way as the Phoenix are. They're picking off Overlords as well around the map. I mean, soon these Phoenix of Lilbow are going to be across the map looking to trade with these Queens once again, which he's currently wasting transfuses on. He's getting damage onto them to make the Phoenix's life easier. In the next few moments, as we see these Adepts, they're still alive, man. I mean, they're still doing damage. More drones are falling. Drones transferring between bases all the time. A couple of Adepts end up in the third base, and that will be the last shade I think we'll see of the Adepts here. As Lilbow just going to target down some more drones. 7 more workers killed overall. It's been 26 killed as the Queens finally pick up the last couple of kills. Again, with this playstyle, Lilbow does take a bit of a later third base than usual, but again, has so much harassment and so much damage done to kind of justify that, so just going to be seeing these Phoenix moving across. We're going to see some Zerglings moving straight through the center. Interesting, Lilbow's already got a few Zealots here to help him defend against these Lings. So Ling's going to have a pretty bad time as these Queens targeting down Phoenix, trying to stop them from doing too much. I'm just going to GG out, he just knows. Again, he's behind. It's a composition that snowballs very heavily. And guess what? If it's behind...